Hello, Numeric here again, and back with automation, where we're going to be exporting things in BeamNG and whatnot. And last time we made the Russian thing with an LS engine, but this time it's going to be a bit different. Very American, obviously, but I'm saying mid-70s oil crisis wannabe sports car. Not very fast, but yeah, kind of. Wants to be fast, but isn't very fast. Low horsepower V8 and all that fancy stuff. And I believe this Ford Escort looking body should be pretty much fine for this. I mean, yeah, this is the shortest version, which is 2.3 meters, and a pretty handsome body. Steel ladder chat. I might be monocoque. Monocoque started taking over in the 70s, but yeah, monocoque, basic suspension setup. You know, not too fancy. I'm thinking coils, but double wishbone is the best option, and coils in the rear because can't be too fancy now, can we? Now we need a new project of an engine, which I believe will be called the LH. Yeah, I think LH8 series seems perfectly fine to me. Engine I totally won't use again. Obviously 90-degree V8, basic, you know, ish block. I know the Mustang 5 liter is too big. The Mustang 2 had a 302 it could fit, and I think we're gonna have to stick to a 3 liter V8, which is 200 something cubic inches. It's not very much, but a push rod should be all right. I might go for overhead cam. Yeah, everything else, I think that's pretty much it for the basic block. Now, internals, cast iron, cast everything, basically. It's the 70s, fuel economy, oil crisis, OPEC, all sorts of stuff like that. Now, carburetor, eco, quad carbs, because we need a little bit of sportiness here. Standard mid intakes and all that stuff. And we're actually going to put it on a whole bunch of fuel nowadays. Unleaded, regular. No premium, because nobody could afford premium. Regular is all you get. Basically, all this stuff, pretty simple. Shouldn't be too hard, I guess. They don't have high flow 3-ways anymore, but, well, not yet anyway. But otherwise, that I think it should be just fine. Very, very good. Now this is the final product, and I think this actually looks like a very good motor, and it makes 120 horsepower, which is, I think, respectable, because the Mustang 302 in 75 made 140, I believe, which is bad for the time, but the Mustang 2 is this is going to be a bit slower, probably. I'm not a fan of this hardtop coupe. I think there is a proper sporty hatch. Ooh, yes, that might be it. And then van pickups, state wagons, and stuff like that. But I think it's actually quite customizable. But I think the best option here is that it looks suspiciously like a Mustang 2. And there's a good amount of customization. You can actually make the belt line a circle or rounded or something like that. But I think this chopped off the... I mean, even if you move the C-pillar forward. But, yeah. Lots of customization on this thing. Overall, I think the best... I'm having a... My brain's not working today. Anyway, this is going to be called the Hawk, which is very American. Name something Sprite, like Sprite, Spritzy, or, well, I mean, this is a performance edition, so it's gonna be something GTM, I don't think it's taken. It's gonna be named just like the, racing thing, you know? Yes. And the finishing touches will be fake sporty wheels and this horrible green-ish puke weird paint job that I stole right out of the 70s. It's very 70s-ish. They love those shades of green, beige, and brown, and puke yellow, and stuff like that. But otherwise, that fake sporty wheels, they're actually just stylized steel wheels. So that sounds about right for the 70s. So this is the finished product, and I think it is a very handsome but slow-looking car. And what's this? Spelling mistakes, literally. Okay, but I think these are all new. I haven't used automation in a while. I don't know what all these do, but I'm gonna click on this one because zip files are pretty important. Anyway, but otherwise I think sounds about right. Everything looks fine to me. This is a bit more European. The car looks a bit more European and like Opel Manta. A bit more European, British-ish, like stuff like that. It's a bit more European than I expected, but I think it looks pretty darn good, despite it not being as American as I'd want. I mean, I was going for like a Ford Pinto, really. And I think, yeah, it's pretty good. This thing is surprisingly slidey, I will admit. That is. But all the lights work, stuff like that. Taillights, they seem a bit small to me, but I'm sure it's fine. Interiors are basic because I don't expect much from me, alright? But it's got nice little details. It says GTM on the side in the middle there. It's supposed to be sporty, in quotation marks. But it's got a little bit of pep to it. Otherwise, probably the wheels, actually. The wheels on this thing are basically ice skates, but this thing can do some donuts. And this is, well, what I'm comparing it to, and it's basically the only other 70s coupe, like mid-70s coupe in the game, and it's really all we have, and it's a big Luxo barge. Actually, I want to really emphasize the size difference here. If you like size difference, no, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Size difference is good, but just look at this. It's like 3 times the car. I mean, they both have V8 and all that stuff, but if we drag race them, we have the smallest V8 with a manual, Bruckle, Moonhawk with a 309 versus the G-Hawk Spritz GTM with a 3-liter V8 compared to the 5.1-liter in the Moonhawk. The Moonhawk is so much louder, I'll admit, but yeah, off they go! Even with 3 tons times more car, the 309 in the Bruckle just pulls away off the line. Wow. a one tire fire all the way through. And what's this? After a very long time, the Spritz catches up. And braking wise, the Spritz is much better because it weighs 2,000 pounds, literally. And of course, now we're on to the timed lap at Hirochi. Off the line, it does have locked diffs. It was like limited slip diffs in the back then, so it's off the line goes pretty good off the line, unless it's compared to anything else that exists. But I'd say around the corners, it's a little slippy. Well, actually, it's very slippy. This thing likes to get sideways, as you can see. I think this would make a great drift car, because it's got a decent amount of power, and it is predictable. I mean, you can expect it to slide, basically. It's gonna get sideways. It will get the most sideways you can imagine. And it is almost uncontrollable, but it is somewhat alright. I think it looks pretty good going down the track. It's not as fast as I'd like, and it is definitely not as controllable as I like, because if you're wondering, to get the Spritz to actually go through a whole entire lap, it took 8 tries till I finally got one lap. Actually, I did 2 laps, but the other lap was like 2.5 minutes. But this is the only lap so far that was half decent, and it made it through the whole entire thing without spinning out and crashing into a wall. Otherwise, I have no complaints. Seems pretty nice, you know. I'd buy one if it was 1974 and it was an oil crisis and I still wanted my shot of adrenaline. But this thing completes it in 1:39.5, which is alright, I guess. But I guess that is the end of the story and the video as well for the Spritz.
Hopefully you subscribe for more, because this has been Wang Automotive, and I will see you in the next video.